This video is brought to you by CatBeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Off the Script, episode 186, part number 3 for your Sunday, September 10th, 2017. I want to thank everybody for another great weekend right here on the number one fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. You guys are awesome. We talked about a wide variety of things this weekend. If you guys missed part 1, we talked about how WWE might possibly be planning The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for a triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania 34 with the storyline of The Undertaker avenging both his WrestleMania losses to both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar all in one night in New Orleans, where the streak originally died at WrestleMania 30. In part number 2 this weekend of Off the Script, we talk about the modern day failure Jinder Mahal and how much of a failure he really is. WWE might possibly be planning Jinder Mahal to be WWE Champion going through WrestleMania 34 as I shoot myself in the head with my imaginary gun. Are you kidding me? My God, can you imagine? Can you imagine? This is the reason why SmackDown Live is garbage. Like I said in the video, it starts at the top. When AJ Styles was champion, SmackDown Live was actually watchable. Now that Jinder Mahal is champion, even with Bray Wyatt, it was watchable. And then WWE messed up that feud with Randy Orton, and it just became a complete shit show. But then Jinder Mahal was champion, and then all of a sudden the decline of SmackDown began. Oh, but JD, they're doing big numbers in India, man. Who cares? We're in America. I don't care about what happens in India. I care about what happens on Tuesday nights. That's all I care about, okay? So we talk about that, plus a wide variety of other things. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is in the annotation within this video. Today, we're going to be talking about, I don't even know what the top story is, man, to be perfectly honest with you. There really is nothing as far as news goes. I got news on GFW. I got news on Baron Corbin. I got news on a former WWE diva who is set to have quadruplets. Unbelievable story there. Spoilers on Ronda Rousey leading up to WrestleMania 34, and a story on Paul Heyman. But before we get into all that, guys, please follow me on Twitter. You guys know the deal. At JDFROMNY206. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Very crucial that you do, because you are not going to get WWE news anywhere like you do here on Off the Script. And make sure that bell is turned on for all notifications. Also, please show some love to my sponsors, man. We got patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys are unbelievable in your support on Patreon. Thank you guys so very much for everything. We got Audible, audibletrial.com. Still giving you guys 30 days free. All new listeners. That's the most important detail there. If you guys have already signed up, you can't do it again. But for all new listeners, if you guys want to support the show and get something for free just for listening to today's podcast, audibletrial.com/offthescript, and you guys are going to have 30 days free of Audible plus one free audio book of your choice. Over 180,000 choices. So that is awesome for you guys. And then barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. I want to thank the fine people over at Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window for their support, as we are officially partnered with both of those brands. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Coupon code JD17 at checkout. Make sure you guys apply that. 20% off your entire order. And the Enzo Amore Get Off My TV shirt, like I said, should be out hopefully this week. My buddy Connor is working on the design, and hopefully that is out later this week. I also want to extend my thank you to capbeast.com. They still continue to sponsor the podcast this summer. And yes, goons, it still is officially summer until we hit that nice, crisp, cool breeze of fall. It's still very mild outside. But I want to thank everybody over at capbeast.com for sponsoring the channel all summer long. You guys can use code JD10 at checkout on capbeast.com. If you guys love caps like I do, I love my caps, man. If you guys want caps, beanies, hats, and you want your own custom embroidered logo on anything that they have over there, You can use coupon code JD10 at checkout, and hopefully we can continue that partnership working with capbeast.com going into the fall and winter months, as always, here on Off the Script. Thank you guys for everything, man. Let's get into the podcast this weekend. I want to start off, being that we mentioned Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal! I hate him. He sucks. He is absolutely god-awful. He might be the nicest guy ever. Fine. He might be a very, very good interview. He might be very humbled. But that does not take away from the fact that the guy in the ring sucks. He bites the big one, man. He is no good for the role that he's in right now on SmackDown Live. I want to read you this. If Jinder Mahal not being the WWE, or actually, I'm going to rephrase it. If Jinder Mahal being the WWE champion makes you ill, then this list I'm about to read to you is about to maybe put you into a coma. Because I don't believe that of all the people they have on the roster, that Jinder Mahal is amongst or about to surpass the elite names I am about to mention to you. As of this writing, Jinder Mahal has held the WWE Championship for 109 days. Now, it might be longer than that. This actually was posted on September 7th, so it's now 112 days. He is scheduled to defend his title against Shinsuke Nakamura at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, crossing my fingers that it is not inside the Hell in a Cell structure, because there's no reason for it. If the math is correct, on October 8th, 2017, Jinder Mahal will have held the WWE title for 139 days. If WWE doesn't decide to randomly take the title off Jinder, which they should, I think that would be the right decision. And by the way, I just want to make a clarification for those goons who don't listen to the words that come out of my mouth. I never said that putting the title on Shinsuke Nakamura is going to help in the ratings. I never said anything about ratings. Ratings to me mean nothing. Okay, I don't care about the ratings. But if you put the title on Shinsuke Nakamura, what I did say is that it's going to be around the shoulder and around the waist of somebody who is infinitely more superior and legitimate than Shinsuke Nakamura. That's just what I said. I didn't say anything about ratings. Nobody on that brand, not even John Cena, is going to help them with ratings. Nobody's going to help WWE with ratings right now that's on the roster. Nobody. Nobody at all. So get that notion out of your head. There's nobody on the roster right now that is going to enhance the ratings. Unless Show's View Entertainment reporting that CM Punk is coming back to Monday Night Raw and the WWE. CM Punk, breaking news on CM Punk's return to the WWE. Please go fund me down below to my Patreon, to my GoFundMe page, to my, whatever. Don't want to talk about that clown, but the only one that's going to get any ratings movement on the needle is CM Punk if he comes back. That is it. Might not be substantial, but he'll move the needle. Definitely. Now, if WWE doesn't decide to take the title off of Jinder Mahal, then there are several big WWE stars that he is going to surpass on a list of longest single WWE Championship reigns of all time. If you already hate Jinder Mahal, this will make you hate him even more so. Look at this list of people that Jinder will surpass at 139 days as champion. The Undertaker's longest reign was 133 days. I could stop right there. But the list gets worse. It really does. Eddie Guerrero, who has the heart of many, Eddie Guerrero's longest reign was similar to The Undertaker's at 133 days. Kurt Angle's longest reign was 126 days. The Rock's longest reign was 119 days. Are you kidding me? My God! What type of nonsense is working up here with Road Dogg and WWE Creative, man? Are you kidding me? Now, look at this list of legends that Jinder has already passed. Chris Jericho's longest reign was 98 days. Ric Flair's longest reign was 77 days. Edge's longest reign was 76 days. And Mick Foley, as Mankind's longest reign, was a measly 26 days. Now, if somebody told me that Jinder Mahal was going to hold the WWE Championship for 139 days as a prediction in 2016, I would have laughed my ass off so badly that I would have given myself a heart attack. Garbage. Jinder Mahal does not belong anywhere near a list with these names on it. He doesn't deserve to be on a list, period. But Jinder Mahal does not deserve to be amongst the elite because he is not anywhere close to being elite. That is a disgrace. This is an absolute travesty. It's a joke. How you can even come up with Jinder Mahal as champion and have him surpass The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Dwayne Johnson. I just don't believe it. I really don't believe it. Now, you know, it really speaks to me. Now, I don't know if it's the same for anybody else. I understand this is a business. I'm not an idiot, okay? But sometimes business has to take a backseat. Jinder Mahal is not good for business. He's not. I'm sorry to tell you, he's not good for business. I don't give a shit what they're doing in India. He's not good for business. Sometimes business has to take a backseat. This goes to show you that WWE's priority is not their history. It's not the wrestling. It's not the legends that they've helped create. It's not the people that they put on our televisions that have a piece of our childhood and adulthood. No, it's not any of that. WWE has mocked all of the legends with this one accolade from Jinder Mahal. God forbid it continues on past Hell in a Cell. Goes to show you how WWE ranks their priorities. I would never in 1,000 fucking lifetimes have The Undertaker, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, or The Rock's reigns as champion be ousted by Jinder Mahal. That's a disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. And I'm sorry I had to read that to you. Sorry I put anybody in a sour mood. It's garbage. Absolutely horrendous, pathetic garbage. Also, what is really mind-boggling to me is this story that I have on Paul Heyman. Now, we all love Paul Heyman. What do we think about Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman with a microphone is the best in the industry. If there's one person I want speaking for me, on my behalf, it is Paul Heyman, the silly Jew, okay? I love Paul Heyman. I think he's fantastic. And I think Paul Heyman has a brilliant mind for what needs to be done, especially when it comes to Brock Lesnar. Now, everything concerning Brock Lesnar really hasn't been all that great. But I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I didn't really give a shit about Goldberg coming back. But the storyline that was built with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, even though it was two colossal beasts colliding at WrestleMania, it was mildly entertaining. It really was. And it was booked, the most important aspect of it, it was booked the right way. It was booked the very best that it could be, and it really made you forget about what happened at WrestleMania 20. But Paul Heyman, believe it or not, again, this goes to show you how people in WWE management really need to be deleted. And I'm taking that one right from Matt Hardy. They need to be deleted several times over. People in WWE management see Paul Heyman as controversial. Controversial? How is Paul Heyman controversial? He's not controversial to me. He goes out there and does his job better than anybody else. He brings legitimacy to the microphone, and he brings legitimacy and a real-life feel to Monday Night Raw. What is there to be about Paul Heyman that is controversial? I don't understand it. But for the most part, Brock Lesnar has been booked perfectly with Paul Heyman by his side. There's a reason why Brock Lesnar is booked perfectly with Paul Heyman by his side, because Paul Heyman knows how to book Brock Lesnar. You think if you think Paul Heyman wasn't there, how bad Brock Lesnar would be booked? Can you imagine Brock Lesnar in the hands of WWE Creative without Paul Heyman? They probably have this guy doing hula hoops and jump rope in the middle of the ring. They probably have this guy acting like a blithering idiot on the microphone in the middle of the ring, trying to cut his own promo to get himself over in a feud. When we all know Brock Lesnar is at his best when minimal is said. Suplex City, bitch. Or something along the lines, and him snickering at Samoa Joe. You know? That's when Brock Lesnar is best at microphone, when he says 4 or 5 words max, and then he just drops the microphone and just stands there and jumps around. But can you imagine if Paul Heyman wasn't there, how WWE Creative would book him? My God, I would not even want to imagine. But Lesnar has been booked with Heyman the way that he should be booked. And the reason for that is because Paul Heyman knows his client better than anybody. There's a reason why they're friends in real life as well. Very, very good friends. Now, he's a monster that destroys everyone in his path, and he will lose whenever it makes sense. Okay? The great thing about the way Lesnar is booked is that he is not a 50-50 guy that will win a match one week and then will lose the following week. When Lesnar wins, he wins. When Lesnar is a champion, he holds the championship until the moment is right for that championship to be taken off of him and the essence that is Brock Lesnar to be defeated, to put somebody else over. They should have did it with Samoa Joe. They failed on that, but regardless of what happened with Joe, Joe was made into a bigger star because of Brock Lesnar. Joe got himself over because he was seen in that situation as, a pushover and a last resort, a middleman so that we could get to SummerSlam. That's what they thought of Samoa Joe, but no, you're not going to treat Samoa Joe like that, man. Samoa Joe took the microphone and said, you know what, you're giving me this golden ticket. I'm cashing this shit in, and I'm going to make you regret not putting me in the main event from the get-go. I'm going to give you a reason to put me in SummerSlam's main event, and that's what Samoa Joe did. That's what Samoa Joe did. And all the reports about Brock Lesnar loving to work with Samoa Joe, there you go. Brock Lesnar knows business, and when business is right, Brock Lesnar will go into business for somebody. He'll go to bat for somebody. It's been seen. It's been done, okay? So don't worry about Brock Lesnar. He's not a 50-50 guy. He should be nowhere near a 50-50 guy. So when Lesnar is booked, he's not a 50-50 guy. When he's a champion, that momentum continues until the situation is right. When he loses a match, it is a huge deal. Like Goldberg. Now, the reason why he lost to Goldberg is because it's set up. The end game was Brock Lesnar getting the Universal Championship. So it all made sense, even though we didn't like it when it happened, but the end game was exactly that. And it does a lot to bring his opponents up to his level and make fans believe that they are a real threat. But apparently there are people in management and creative in WWE that would book him differently, and if they had the chance, they would change certain aspects about Brock Lesnar. Now, in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, there's a note on how management and creative see Paul Heyman. He is seen as a controversial figure because he gets Lesnar's segments changed so often. So what's the problem with that? WWE segments and ideas and storylines and plans aren't changed often? Some hypocritical shit there, WWE management. You're the ones who constantly change the show up until the minute before you gotta go live on Monday and Tuesday nights. Sometimes during the show. So don't give me this shit about, oh, he's seen as controversial because he gets Lesnar's segments changed. Maybe because the shit that you're pitching to Heyman is absolute garbage. Maybe Heyman needs to do your job and show you how things are supposed to be done. That's why they're changing. Heyman, you're lucky Heyman is there. Because if he wasn't, Lesnar wouldn't even be in the WWE. So don't give me the shit that you see Heyman as controversial and that you wouldn't want him there. Because if he wasn't there, Lesnar wouldn't be there. People in management got to get the hell out, man. I'm sick of WWE, man. I hate them all. Dumbasses. Oh, because they change the segments so often. Do your job right and Heyman won't have to clean up your mess. Clown. Heyman also has a lot of pull with Vince McMahon. It's hard to argue that some of the creative things done with Lesnar haven't worked. Nobody's perfect. In fact, the storyline with Samoa Joe helped propel Joe into legitimacy in the main event. Meltzer also reported that there is a belief that if Heyman was not around, Lesnar would be more apt to do things that were originally written for him. Again, I go back to the biggest glaring point staring you right in the face. If Heyman wasn't there, Lesnar would not be there. This is one of the few acts in wrestling that comes as a package deal. So WWE better shut the hell up, listen to Paul Heyman, and when something happens with Brock Lesnar, Heyman is also going to be that whisper in the ear of Vince McMahon. Because you're not going to rely on WWE's creative team to get anything done with Brock Lesnar. Always go through Paul Heyman. If Heyman and Lesnar have something that they want to do, then you let them do it. You're paying this man $6 million a year, if not more. You better have Paul Heyman give you the best shit possible for Brock Lesnar. So, Dave Meltzer reported that there is a belief that if Heyman was not around, Lesnar would be more apt to do things that were originally written for him. Heyman being around is much better, not only for Lesnar, but it's much better for the WWE. Because every time Paul Heyman is on Monday Night Raw, it's a segment that is always must-see. Every time the man speaks, he always commands your attention. Every time the man speaks, you put down whatever you're doing. You're on your phone, you're tweeting, you're texting your wife, right? Hey, honey, I'll be home soon. Okay, fine. Paul Heyman's on. I'll text you back in 10 minutes. You put it down. You put it down, you know? But be courteous, because courteous is key. But that's the story on Paul Heyman, man. He's seen as a controversial figure by WWE management. Goons. Absolutely a bunch of goons. Where do we go from here, man? Former WWE star Christy Hemme, pregnant. Now, the reason why this is in the news and the reason why I'm reporting this is because it's just so wild that I had to get it across to you guys. She is due to have quadruplets. Now, that doesn't happen every day. That's a rarity, okay? It's like finding, an exotic in Destiny. You know, how many times have you seen an exotic drop, when you want it to? Not often, Or when you go to the Cryptarch in Destiny 2 and you want that one exotic and he gives you a goddamn helmet, right? I don't know why I'm talking about Destiny. I got Destiny on the brain. How many times I went to the Cryptarch this week with a exotic engram and it ended up being a Skull of Dire Amhamkara? Give me a break, man. I got like 7 of those helmets. I only need one. It's a rarity. You get what you want. It's a rarity that a woman is pregnant and you got quadruplets that are due. Now, Christy Hemme is pregnant with quadruplets. She said she's pregnant and has been trying to get pregnant for a very long time. She's very excited about this new endeavor in her life, but she never expected it to be such a big one. I don't think anybody expects it to be that big. Hemme is very fertile, because she is not just having one baby, she's having 4. So Christy Hemme took to Twitter to break the news. She's having quadruplets, and she couldn't be more excited about it. She's currently 15 weeks along and showed off her stomach in the video announcement. Apparently, there are 4 people being created inside Christy Hemme right now. That is unreal. That is absolutely unreal, man. Women are the most amazing things on this earth, man. I don't know. I don't know. A, I don't know how a woman can carry 4 children inside of her. B, I would never in a fucking million lifetimes be able to do something like that and give birth to 4 individuals, 4 human beings. God Almighty, God bless her. I hope every one of them comes out happy and healthy, man. This is a very high-risk pregnancy, so Hemme will be on bed rest for most of it. She and husband Charlie Patterson had a daughter named Charlie Rose on January 3rd, 2015. We wish them the best of luck during this exciting time. So that will make it 5 children in total. Unbelievable. Unreal. GFW. The failure known as GFW, reportedly hemorrhaging funds, Anthem is ready to sell the company. So, Vince McMahon, get on the phone, bro. Now, the big news Tuesday night was Jeff Jarrett and the decision for him to take an indefinite leave of absence from Global Force Wrestling. Now, Jeff Jarrett usually tweets. I'm following Jeff Jarrett. I normally see the tweets. Have a busy business day, conference calls, this, that. He's just updating about his day. Whoever cares. He's updating on Twitter. So, when Jeff had to take an indefinite leave of absence, it was a complete night and day experience from one day to the other. What the hell happened in between all that? However, there is more to the story than a simple leave of absence for personal reasons that was being discussed. But there is a bigger story that could signal the end of Anthem's involvement in the wrestling business. I don't have any figures, but I know Anthem, according to other people that I do listen to, Anthem is not making any money at all. In fact, they are losing money on GFW. They may never make money on GFW, TNA, Impact, whatever the hell you want to call them nowadays. Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso, who's been on a lot of big stories lately. His name has been linked to a lot of big stories. He's reporting and has more details on the situation, and it doesn't sound good for Anthem and Global Force Wrestling. The company is hemorrhaging funds, and sources have confirmed that Anthem is ready to sell GFW. The fact that the Fight Network was gutted in order to finance GFW explains some of the budget cuts and why money has been tight. Another interesting bit of news in this story is the deal to merge Impact Wrestling and Global Force Wrestling was never completed, so Jarrett still owns GFW, while Anthem owns Impact Wrestling's name and the tape library associated with it. So, why would GFW be bought out by Anthem if this is the case? If they're hemorrhaging money, why would Anthem want anything to do with Global Force Wrestling as a company? So I don't know what's going on, man. This, just by that alone, we might be signaling the end of Global Force Wrestling. Because I don't think anybody at this, I think Anthem was the best shot at saving this company. I don't think anybody is going to want to get into bed with these people. I really don't. Somebody asked Eric Bischoff on Twitter, Bischoff, would you like to buy or would you be interested in buying GFW now that the story is out about them hemorrhaging funds? And then Eric Bischoff tweeted back and said that he's not in the market for a clown car. Nothing but a bunch of clowns over there. Nothing but a bunch of clowns. They thought they were big, spending Anthem's money. And then all of a sudden, this comes out. And then it's quite funny how Jeff Jarrett, like I said, was tweeting normally the past weekend, going on to Monday, and then Tuesday night he's got to take an indefinite leave of absence. Maybe it has something to do with whatever Rebby Hardy was tweeting about, how she has a ton of dirt on Jeff Jarrett, drunk texts, drunk tweets, drunk voicemails about their whole situation. So that might be playing a part as well in the whole personal reasons matter. So we really don't know. We're only under the assumption of what's going on. We're only making logical guesses here. The fact that the Fight Network was gutted, like I said, in order to finance GFW explains some of the budget cuts and why money has been tight. Another interesting bit of news in this story is that the deal to merge Impact and Global Force Wrestling was never completed, so Jarrett owns GFW while Anthem owns Impact and the tape library associated with it. One potential buyer. Now, this is always the case with everybody, because WWE is the giant that they are. One potential buyer would be Vince McMahon and WWE, and they would have an interest in the library because some of their top stars right now, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe, and others, have worked for TNA while under Dixie Carter and GFW, okay? One of the challenges that WWE has in producing future documentaries is telling the stories of their performers while omitting their TNA run. If they buy the tape library, then they can include footage, for example, just like Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is very proud of his TNA run. Kurt Angle is very proud of the body of work that he did in TNA. He doesn't want that now that he's in WWE to be overlooked when they do future pieces of work on him in WWE because he ain't going anywhere. This is where he's going to remain for the rest of his career. And he wants that stuff. He wants those matches to be showcased because if you're a Kurt Angle fan and you didn't watch any of that stuff back in the day, he wants that stuff to be seen because he's so proud of that stuff. He was TNA. So he was with them more so than he was with WWE. Of course he wants that stuff to be seen and showcased. So WWE could realistically do that if they wanted to. Kurt Angle would love that because he's talked about how proud he was of everything he did in TNA. But they've been largely forgotten. And nobody really, understands that. GFW's creative team member, John Gaburik, was the person that reached out to Kevin Dunn. John Gaburik. You know why I'm friends with John Gaburik? Because he loves, wood. John Gaburik is very good friends with Kevin Dunn to open up dialogue for sale talks last year. So there was open lines of communication with Gaborik and Dunn for sale talks last year. Anthem stepped into the picture and bought Impact Wrestling. It's also possible that Billy Corgan could step in, but at this point, I don't think Billy Corgan wants anything to do with these people. They screwed him over. They don't want anything to do with, he doesn't want anything to do with them, and I'm sure they don't want anything to do with Billy Corgan. So it would be hard for Anthem to turn down an offer from WWE at this point, especially if they are willing to pay more. If that happens, then this could be the end of GFW as an active wrestling company. And it would also mean that WWE would have the ownership of the broken trademarks, which is a good thing for both Matt and brother Nero. So that is that. I really don't know what else to say on this situation, man. The one thing that I do want to say is, you know, my heart goes out to the talents, because they're probably, A, getting the runaround, B, they're not really being told the whole story. They're being told, yeah, don't worry about it, just continue to go to work, and we'll take care of it. Meanwhile, it's a bunch of political nonsense going on behind the scenes, and they're probably being lied to right directly in their face, which is bullshit. So I feel for the talent, and, you know, they got to live with huge question marks over their head about this entire deal. And that sucks. If you're an employer and you don't know what's going on with the company and it's in dire straits like this, you have every right to know. You know, especially if you're not getting paid on time. So all you want to know is that, you know, what's going on? Should I be looking for work elsewhere? Should I be getting my name out there elsewhere? Because if this thing goes under, then there's going to be a lot of free agents filling that big wrestling pool, bro. And I know a lot of talents are really scared for their well-beings right now, because they got families, they got kids, they got they got lives outside of GFW. They gotta feed their families, they gotta support their families. So it's a really, really difficult situation. They need to be told and updated more so than anybody else, first and foremost. But as far as GFW hemorrhaging funds, man, we really don't know what's going on with Jeff Jarrett. We can only be under the assumption of what's going on. Rebby was tweeting out, "Karma's a bitch." You know, she was tweeting that she feels no sorrow for these people after what they put her and her family through. So Rebby is acting exactly how I would. You know, they want to play games with their family, and Rebby is reveling in the fact that these people are now a huge sinking ship. So it's very difficult to go against how Rebby is feeling at this point, you know. But if I hear anything about GFW, I will let you guys know. This might be the end of GFW. You know, Anthem was their only saving grace. Nobody else wanted to touch this. They're not making money in the wrestling industry. They're losing a lot of money with GFW. They don't even own GFW. The deal hasn't even been gone through that they own GFW. So look at what's going on now with this entire situation. If it's this bad now, why would Anthem want anything else to do with these people? So they are looking to sell. Their only option is to sell. So I will keep you guys updated on GFW. My heart goes out to the roster, because nobody knows what's going on. And that's where my heart lies, with those guys. Because they work hard, they bust their ass, they make the show. They make the brand. And the fact that they're not being told the truth and that they're not being given all the appropriate information is a really shitty situation, man. So I'll keep you guys updated on GFW right now, or going into the future. We'll find out what's going on with that. But Jeff Jarrett has taken a leave of absence for personal reasons. If anything else breaks on this story, I will let you guys know right here on the podcast. And finally, guys, this is going to be a very, very short episode of Off the Script. Not much news. Not much news this weekend, this Sunday, for Off the Script part number 3. We're going to end with this one. Actually, no, I got 2 more stories. I'm sorry. I got a Ronda Rousey story. I'm a goon. I am a goon. We'll do the Ronda Rousey story. Let's do this one. Spoilers on potential WWE plans for Ronda Rousey leading up to WrestleMania 34. Ronda Rousey will be in attendance for the Mae Young Classic red carpet and finale on Tuesday night. Why? I don't want to say why, but I'm sure you guys already know why. It's because of who is in the finals against who is in the finals. Given that there are rumors flying around about her doing at least one match, I would expect an angle to happen during the Mae Young Classic finals on Tuesday night. As long as it doesn't interfere with the finals and the match itself, I'm okay. Especially after Ronda Rousey, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir, who is the wife of Roderick Strong, confronted Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch during a backstage segment at the Mae Young Classic tapings. Now, the 4 horsewomen, obviously Shayna Baszler, the 4 horsewomen, obviously missing for WWE side Sasha Banks. So it'll be 4 women versus 4 women. So we don't know what's going on with that, but there is news. As first reported by Wrestling Observer Newsletter, the rumors that Rousey would be involved in a horsewomen versus horsewomen match at Survivor Series that would lead to another match with Ronda Rousey one-on-one against somebody at WrestleMania is the plan. Now, the names talked about as Rousey's opponent at WrestleMania are one that I wish never happens at all, because it would make no sense and it would not be believable and it would be absolutely 100% grade A cringe. One name that is being speculated for Rousey's opponent is Stephanie McMahon. Why? Why? What, to feed Stephanie's ego? Feed me more. Did she take Ryback's gimmick? Please. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't even want to read about it. It is absolutely ridiculous to even think or fathom Ronda Rousey in the ring with Stephanie McMahon. Give me a break. The other is Charlotte Flair. That I could deal with. It wouldn't be my first choice, but that I could deal with. A couple of years ago, when Ric Flair was interviewed, he was pushing the idea of Rousey versus Charlotte as an MMA fight. Flair said, let's do it, man. That's what I want to see. Of course you want to see it, Rick. That's your daughter. She would be in the biggest women's match this side of WWE. Of course you want to see it, because the Flair family name would be linked to that. Of course you want to see it. Charlotte's not afraid to get in there. In all fairness, she had a year to train. I'm not saying Ashley would win by any means, he says. But if she had a year to get ready for it, it wouldn't end in round one. Well, being that Rousey was pretty much destroyed in her last match, she might have lost a step or four. So who knows? Maybe Charlotte would be able to last a round. Would she be able to last more than 2 minutes like CM Punk? I don't know. I would say, you know what? I would be a betting man and say yes. I think Charlotte could last against Ronda Rousey. Just a prediction. I don't know. Maybe I'm a goon. Maybe I'm a goon for thinking that, but I don't know. Well, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. I don't know. So, it wouldn't be a 14-second tap out, he says. Ashley would need to learn submission wrestling, but Ashley is strong beyond belief. Today, think about it. Think about it right. She could do 30 front-handed pull-ups and 100 push-ups. She can run at level 9 for an hour on a treadmill, and she weighs 155 pounds with 3% body fat. So that's Ric Flair obviously hyping up his daughter, And I'm going to backtrack here and say I don't think Charlotte's going to be able to last with Ronda Rousey in the ring. Not in an MMA fight. Maybe in a wrestling fight, not an MMA fight. I'm going to retract my original statement. That's a goon-like statement right there. Before anybody jumps down my fucking throat about that one. Charlotte would get destroyed by Ronda Rousey, no matter how badly Ronda Rousey looked in her last fight on pay-per-view with the UFC. But that is the plan right now for Ronda Rousey. We discussed this already. Horsewomen versus horsewomen. Maybe WWE doesn't even need The Undertaker for John Cena at Survivor Series, like we discussed on part 1. Maybe they do that and the horsewomen versus the horsewomen match and make Survivor Series the biggest pay-per-view of the year. They could do that. WWE would definitely love to have that moniker on Survivor Series. This would literally be the biggest Survivor Series of all time. Cena, Undertaker, and then the horsewomen of MMA versus the horsewomen of WWE. I mean, on top of that, you might possibly get Shane versus Kevin Owens in a traditional Survivor Series match. Maybe we got Raw versus SmackDown matches, singles matches for Survivor Series. WWE could really make Survivor Series into a massive spectacle with all eyes on it. And they're going to want to do it because we already talked about it. WWE's not going to sell this pay-per-view on the traditional Thanksgiving tradition. They're not going to do that. So this is very likely to happen. And I would love to see it. Now, the only thing I got to do is get the rest of the reviews out for the Mae Young Classic. I've been very lazy with it. It might be late. I don't know. It might be late. It might be late leading up to it. We'll see what happens. If I got time this weekend, I will get all of them out. I'm just preoccupied with other things, man. There's just so much other shit going on. And a lot of Destiny, too. I apologize. But whatever the case may be, man, Ronda Rousey, more than likely, definitely at this point, is going to have a WWE match. I'm sure of it. And it's what WWE wants. It's what Stephanie wanted. It's what Triple H wanted. They're going to make it happen. Ronda Rousey is not there just to be a spectator. If she's getting involved, then that is the seeds being planted for something bigger in the future. She's not just going to be there to cheer on Shayna Baszler. No. So she's there to be involved in a storyline that's going to be built towards something else. So it's going to be very interesting, man. They got to have a selling point for the Mae Young Classic. Nobody's going to watch the finals just to see, the finals. They got to have another selling point there. Obviously they're going to tell you that, listen, Ronda Rousey's going to be in attendance to watch her comrade be in the finals, So it is what it is, man. That's the plan right now for Ronda Rousey at the Mae Young Classic and then leading on into Survivor Series and WrestleMania. We'll see if any of that develops. Finally, guys, an incident at a recent talent meeting is what likely led to WWE de-pushing Baron Corbin. There's been a lot of talk in recent weeks about Baron Corbin. I'm sick of talking about him, and I'm sick of seeing him feud over the United States Championship with AJ Styles. Not really what I want to see as far as SmackDown Live. But Baron Corbin, and the main talking point has been about the decision to take the Money in the Bank briefcase off of him a week before SummerSlam, and then losing at SummerSlam to John Cena, and then being treated like a bum and made into a referee for AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. So it is what it is. The decision was made at the last minute and was clear that he did something to upset people in management. Now, while he does have some heat over things, he said on Twitter, the word is the reason why he is in hot water, has nothing to do with social media, and is completely unrelated to John Cena. The latest update, according to a report from PW Insider and Mike Johnson, is that management was down on him because of an incident that took place early last month in August. There was a meeting with talent and Dr. Joseph Maroon, who was brought in to talk with them about concussion-related injuries. Maroon is the medical director for WWE and has worked as a team neurosurgeon for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Magoon, talked about a recent study on deceased NFL players who were diagnosed with post-mortem with CTE. CTE was found in 99% of brains from deceased NFL players that were donated to research, according to a study published in the medical journal JAMA, J-A-M-A. The feeling was that Magoon was downplaying the study, and that rubbed some people the wrong way. Magoon had previously come under fire for saying that long-term neurological damage amongst football players was over-exaggerated. Now, in February 2015, Maroon's chronic traumatic, I don't even know how to pronounce this, it's CTE. That's what CTE is, okay? Encephalopathy in contact sports. I probably butchered that word, but I apologize. A systematic review of all reported pathological cases. Study failed to disclose his 30-year relationship with NFL, and criticisms of him is that he is a conflict of interest by downplaying the CTE studies. Corbin is a former NFL player and took issues with what was said by Maroon at a meeting. According to people at the meeting, he argued some of Maroon's points. Corbin is a part of concussion-related lawsuits against the NFL and said that he knew Maroon was against the CTE studies. Maroon says that he agreed that CTE was a problem, but downplayed that 99% of the study player had CTE. Now, one source said that things got awkward while Corbin had the best intentions. He may have outspoken in the wrong place at the wrong time and perhaps should have spoken to Maroon privately. There were some wrestlers that were impressed by Corbin for speaking out, because most people will keep quiet even if they disagree with things said at talent meetings. That's the fucking problem in WWE. Nobody wants to speak up because they're afraid of what might happen to them. So Corbin spoke up. Corbin is still in the mix in a program with AJ Styles, so he's not really buried. I mean, obviously, you know, they took the briefcase away from him. They made him look like a goon with the referee outfit on. They had him job to John Cena in 10 minutes. They even photoshopped a picture of him with hair on it for a memorable plaque that they're selling on WWEshop.com for his Money in the Bank briefcase win, as if anybody cares about buying that memorabilia. They airbrushed hair on top of his head because he's got that massive receding hairline. So some wrestlers were impressed with Corbin for speaking out, and most people will keep quiet even if they disagree, with some things at the talent meetings. Corbin is still in the mix with AJ Styles for the United States Championship, so it doesn't look like he will be buried as a lower card guy. But it does appear that a message was sent to him when he was taken out of the WWE Championship mix. Now, I'm not gonna get into anything about what Maroon is feeling. If Maroon has a feeling about something, fine, okay. But don't downplay something because of what everybody's talking about with the NFL. Don't downplay something because, you feel strongly about it. If the tests show something, then the tests, 99% is a overwhelming statistic that the tests are right, okay? So Maroon is downplaying it because he feels like it's a bunch of BS. But the tests are telling otherwise. But it's not even about that. This is about Baron Corbin, okay? Baron Corbin spoke out, and people were impressed, as the report says, from PW Insider. People were impressed that Baron Corbin spoke up in a public setting about his feelings towards what Maroon's opinions were. I commend Baron Corbin for that, because most people would not do that just because of the repercussions. Baron Corbin found out firsthand that when you do that and you do those types of things with somebody who is pretty much untouchable in the WWE, Dr. Joseph Maroon here, he's untouchable. He is of high authority. You speak out against him, it's going to get back to the front office, it's going to get back to higher management, and Baron Corbin's going to be screwed over. But I can't sit here and tell you that I don't respect Baron Corbin, because I respect him for speaking out when he really shouldn't have. Now, this is a lesson learned. Everything else that we talked about with, unrelated to John Cena and his back and forth with Dave Meltzer on social media, people were claiming and reporting that this was the reason why Baron Corbin was depushed. Those things, minor things, could have added up, but in the grand scheme of things, it was this reason, according to Mike Johnson, the PW Insider, that Baron Corbin was depushed. He spoke out in a public setting against a higher authority figure in WWE. And your opinion means nothing to these people. You mean nothing to these people. You are getting paid to do what they say. Shut your mouth, go to work, do what they say, and by some quick strike of faith, by the hand of God, if it is your time to succeed and your time to be at the top of the fucking mountain and it's your time to be WWE champion, then it will be your time. And you will be gifted the treasures of WWE. It's like you're on a journey. It's like you're on an adventure. It's like you're Nathan Drake in Uncharted. You got to go through all this bullshit. You got to go through 1,001 band of thieves. You got to climb 1,000 mountains. You got to swing through 1,000 jungles. And then you're going to find the buried treasure at the end of the temple. That's Baron Corbin. That's what you got to do. Fine, he spoke out. Fine, he gained some respect in the WWE locker room for doing something that somebody else would not do. But now he knows. Keep your mouth shut. Do what you got to do. Do what these people say. And then when you're a good boy and you're deemed a good student, then you'll be gifted the day to be, the king of the mountain or the king of the WWE. Don't speak out with these people, because you can't trust anybody. You say one bad thing, forget about it. 4 different people hear it, then it gets back to the Vince McMahons and all these other people, and then forget about it. You're embarrassed like he is. Terrible August for Baron Corbin. You got to respect him, though, for speaking out. You got to respect him for standing up for what he believes in, even though Maroon spoke out and downplayed the CTE issue. And the 99% of the studies that confirm, that whatever the NFL players who were diagnosed with postmortem with CTE, 99% of the studies say yes. Maroon says no. Maroon is the 1%. Baron Corbin spoke out about it. You got to respect him for speaking up about something that he believed in a setting that really didn't call for it. Now he knows. Trial and error. Don't speak out in that setting. And the next time, WWE will not take your briefcase away and not depush you and not fuck you over. So, Baron Corbin, a lesson learned. Trial and error. He's still young. He's 32 years old. He's still liked by Vince McMahon. He's not buried. He's getting a shot at the United States Championship. It's a business of timing. Baron Corbin will work himself back up. Baron Corbin will be back in the good graces of WWE, and we will see Baron Corbin succeed. There's no reason for Baron Corbin to fail. Mistakes will be made along the way. This was a mistake. Now he learned, and now he knows what not to do next time. Simple as that. That's the issue here. That's the lesson. Don't do something that's going to get you in trouble. And if you do, learn from it, take it, and use it and apply it to the next situation. So now when he's in that situation again, he knows to keep his mouth shut and not say anything. And maybe we'll see him as WWE champion. That's off the script, guys. Thank you so much for everything this weekend. That is all I got, unfortunately. There's not really much news on this Sunday. We'll be right back, though. I'm going to conclude this episode of Off the Script with subscriber stories and a large group of Patreon shoutouts. Thank you guys so much for this portion of Off the Script. I will see you guys in a little bit for Patreon shoutouts, and we're going to do some subscriber stories to close out this weekend's podcast right here on episode 186, part number 3 of Off the Script. Let's get into the mailbag, man. Everybody's favorite part of the show. We got Patreon shoutouts, as always. And we got subscribers' stories to close this weekend's Off the Script out. Now, I didn't do it last week. I was a little strapped for time. But this week, we're going to hit it hard with the subscriber stories. I got 3 stories for you guys today. And then a whole bunch of Patreon shoutouts. Now, I tried to go back and recover the last month of August. And I want to graciously apologize to everybody that pledged at the end of August. Some reason Patreon didn't pull up my notifications for August, so I only got from September 1st on. So we're going to do a whole slew of shoutouts right here on Off the Script for the entire month so far of September. And I want to thank you guys so much for all your love and support, man. Without you guys supporting me on Patreon and without you guys wanting to see the extra content, I don't know where I'd be, man, with this shit. Because as you guys know, I don't really work the retail thing anymore. I gave that up. I took a chance on myself, and I've been incredibly happy with the decision thus far. I just think back to how miserable I was and how really happy I am now, just being home with my 2 cats, you know, seeing my family more often now, and just having a life and being able to just do whatever I want, whenever I want, wake up and I begin work for you guys, man. I don't even consider this a job anymore. You know, I do this because I genuinely love doing it, and I'm glad you guys love it as well, and I'm glad that you guys are here and reciprocating your feelings towards me and being gracious enough to pledge to me monthly because you guys think I'm worth it, man. It's unbelievable that I'm even in the position I am, and I want to thank you guys so very much, man. It's unbelievable to me. But I want to thank everybody for the entire month of September so far, man. Steve Jr. the third, he pledged $8. What's up, brother? Dan Shafiq, he pledged $3. Renzantis, he upped his pledge from $3 to $5. He wants that Mario Kart 8 gameplay, man. And we got something really, really special coming up for Monday, man. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Nintendo Switch, $5 or more if you guys want to pledge. You guys get Mario Kart 8 gameplay exclusively. It was on YouTube before YouTube really went to just a bunch of nonsense. And I really can't upload Nintendo content without a Nintendo contract to do so. So a lot of copyright claims, a lot of third-party content claims, you know, hit my channel. It doesn't really affect me much. It's just that with the video uploaded to YouTube, all the ad money or all the proposed ad money that goes to it, all the ads that are on the video, they go right to Nintendo. I get none of it. So that's what that is. You guys want that. And now it's exclusively on Patreon, and it's the best decision I ever made, and I absolutely love playing Mario Kart for you guys. I love raging. I love making you guys laugh. I love the little intertwining storylines we got going on there. It's really good stuff, man. Keegan Simpson, he pledged $5. Clifton Melanson, he pledged $5. We got, I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name. We got Aki Harho, Akeem Rhodes, pledging $1. What's up, brother? We got Darth Kinu. He pledged $5. Ramon DaCosta, he upped his pledge from $3 to $5. Marco Perez pledging $5. Tyler Johnson pledging $5. Wiz B pledging $5. Dylan Soppy, or Sop, pledged $3. Sorry if I fuck up your name. I am a goon. Charlie, the man known as Charlie, pledging $5. Abner Santilana, he pledged $5. David Cochran pledging $5. Dustin Spies pledging $5. We got Mikey Farrell. What's up, brother? He upped his pledge from $2 to $5. We got, let's see here, Gary McCurry. He upped his pledge to $10 from $5. Maxwell Fairchild, brother, what is going on, man? $15 from my boy Maxwell. We got Frank Gibson pledging $5. Jaden Edmonds pledging $5. We got Trey Garo pledging $3. Nick DeCarl Antonio pledging $5. Kyle Wissenhant pledging $5. Eric Hughes pledging $5. And that is it for the entire first week plus of September, man. I want to thank you guys, and I want to thank everybody that pledged at the end of August. You guys mean the world to me. You are absolutely fucking beast. And if you guys want to join Team JD on Patreon, patreon.com/JD206. Make sure you guys go and visit that, man. $5 or more will get you Mario Kart gameplay on the Nintendo Switch exclusively. Off the Script Retro, which I'm going to try and get done this week. You guys get that. Extra audio podcast for your week. You guys get early access to Off the Script, which I kind of slacked on this week because, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I didn't do the early access to Off the Script this weekend because I have been absolutely grinding on Destiny, man. So much that I record some of Off the Script and then I don't finish recording it till the next day, man. I stay on Destiny all night long because we got the raid coming up and I want to stream the raid for you guys live on YouTube. I think I'm going to be doing it. So make sure you guys check the channel for that. But I've been grinding Destiny, man, and I greatly apologize. I'll get back to the regular swing of things. Destiny is just literally taking over not only my life, but a lot of people. It's just taking over a lot of people's lives right now. So Destiny 2 is where everybody is right now. But early access to Off the Script, plus you guys get entry into my Off the Script Discord server where you guys can talk about anything you want. And that is there for you guys as well. Very family-friendly environment. Everybody is as one. We talk about all the hot topics from Off the Script, and you guys get that as well. So thank you guys so very much, man. There's 3 different tiers, whether you guys want to pledge $1, $3, $5. I'm really trying to come up with something for the $10 tier. I really want to make it worth your time. I just don't know what that is exactly. So if you guys get any ideas, man, I'll take anything into consideration. So let me know what you guys are doing. I also have ideas about doing an exclusive only for like 7 days. It'll be available and then it'll go away. I have this beautiful JD Bullet Club design that I want to get done, and I want to make sure everybody has a chance to get this thing. I don't want to put it on here. I don't want to put it on Barbershop Window. I can't put it on Barbershop Window because the Bullet Club is all over Pro Wrestling Tees and Barbershop Window. I don't want to do any of that. That's a copyright claim. Can't really do that. Can't sell any merchandise in its likeness because it's very similar to the Bullet Club design. But I can do it on another website. I could do it on like Teespring as a little mini campaign. I got this Bullet Club design that I really want to get out, man, on a T-shirt. I think it would look fantastic. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. I just got to devise and get that rolling out. So there's a lot of cool things coming, man. But thank you guys so much for everything. You guys have been absolutely beast, and you are the reason why this channel is as strong as ever right now, man. So thank you guys so very much. Subscriber stories, man. Subscriber stories is something that we do. We dip into the mailbag. You guys email me if you guys want to get your story, whatever it may be, how you feeling, what you're feeling about the show, this and that. You guys can send me anything you want, man. JDFROMNY206 at yahoo.com. Make sure you guys email me there if you guys want to tell me whatever story that is on your mind. If you're willing to open up to me, this show means a lot to several different people out there. So if you guys want to tell me how much the podcast is getting you through your weeks, whether you got something going on personally, whether you got something going on with the family, that's the most important thing to me, man. The fact that people listen to the show and they use this show as a way to get them through their weeks or their days. That's the most value to me, man. I absolutely love hearing stuff like that. So if you guys want to email me your stories, man, JDFROMNY206 at yahoo.com. We are going to start off with Jimmy Guajardo. He's got a sub-story here. He emailed me on September 2nd at 5:05 p.m. Hi, JD. My name is Jimmy. I know my last name is hard to pronounce. Hopefully I didn't butcher it like a goon. And I am 17 years old from Lindsay, California. I was a big wrestling fan. I was a kid then. As I got older, I grew away from it. But around last fall, my friends from school got me back into wrestling. And after the Roadblock pay-per-view, end of the line pay-per-view, I was upset how terrible it was. Yeah, it was pretty awful. So I went on YouTube and looked up the review to see if anyone agreed with me. And on the top of the page was your channel. Ever since that day, I subscribed and I've watched all your videos since then. I love hearing stories like that, man, because sometimes the YouTube sub boxes and subscriptions and the notifications or just the channel recommendations aren't working. So the fact that you found me back then when with December ended, Roadblock ended the line, that was when YouTube was still good. I was having a very, very good month. In fact, I was having my best month ever in December. So I'm glad you found me through that, man. I like hearing when you guys tell me you found me through a particular review. It means I'm doing my job, or YouTube is doing my job for me. Ever since that day, I've subscribed and watched all of your videos since then. I love the mind you have for the business, and I like how you pitch how feuds should be booked. I also love your Kevin Dunn impressions. They always put a smile on my face. Anyways, I don't want this sub-stories to be too long. I just wanted to say that I am a big fan of Off the Script and your channel, and you have a loyal goon in me. Sincerely, Jimmy. Thank you so very much, brother. I greatly appreciate it, and I will continue to try and make you smile. And Kevin Dunn, We will always continue to put down Kevin Dunn every time we have an opportunity here on the channel, man. Thank you so very much for your support, Jamie. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Next one we have here is from William. This one is from William Lucero. If I pronounce your name wrong, brother, I apologize. What's up, JD? My name's William or Will or whatever you want to call me. I go by either. Anyway, I found your channel after this year's Royal Rumble. Ooh. That was one of my most highly viewed videos. It got flagged. And it really didn't get flagged. It got demonetized because the title was Fuck Roman Reigns. So that's what was in the title there. I found your channel after this year's Royal Rumble simply because I wanted to hear somebody absolutely tear that garbage apart and call WWE out on the pile of shit that they gave us, and that's exactly what you did. I just started watching WWE programming again last year after the disgusting piece of shit that was WrestleMania 32. Absolutely god-awful. Maybe one of the worst 3 WrestleManias of all time. That's just me adding that. That's the way I feel about it. And yes, William, it was a disgusting piece of shit. I sat and would watch this crap and wonder all the time what the fuck is wrong with the writing and direction behind this. At times I felt like I was watching Nickelodeon or a fucking soap opera, not wrestling. And worst of all, people are okay with it. They sit here and say Monday Night Raw is a thumbs up show, or this was a thumbs up show, or that was good. I would watch this shit and wonder why did I ever start watching WWE again. I no longer watch WWE programming anymore, but I keep up with it on the WWE YouTube channel and news. That's the best way to go about it, man. If you're frustrated and you're not really enjoying it, WWE uploads anything anyway with minimal commercials, so it really doesn't matter. So you're doing the right thing. Anyway, I've watched hundreds of your videos throughout the months, usually before and after work because I work 55 hours a week and I'm pretty busy. Currently not subscribed to your Patreon page because I am in massive debt with credit cards, medical bills for my dad who is very sick, and his news just keeps getting worse every time something seems to start getting better. But slowly but surely, I'm paying it off and hope to become a Patreon in the future. I will continue to support you right here on YouTube. Hopefully, you'll reach your goal of 100K subscribers soon. You definitely deserve it and beyond. By the way, your Kevin Dunn and Goon voices are fucking hilarious, especially your Raw review with Dunn. Maybe for Off the Script 200, you could do an entire episode with Dunn or at least a news segment. Keep up the great work. William, don't worry about being a Patreon, man. Your support is really all I ever ask for from anybody. It's really up to you guys if you feel the need that you want to. I never ask anybody. I never blatantly come out here and ask anybody to do anything. You want to do it, brother, it's all on you. If you have the time to do it, if you got the finances to do it, if you can afford it, fantastic. But it's not really that important to me right now, man. Keep working. Take care of your dad. I hope everything gets better. I don't want to hear that it's getting worse. I hope that it only gets better from here on out. And I will continue to tear the product apart because that's what I am here to do. I do not want to sugarcoat anything for you guys. I never want to be dishonest with any of you guys. I never want to give you bullshit that seems like it's forced or I'm siding with WWE when realistically we should not be. Not everything is a bed of roses right now. There's a lot of bad. And I am the one channel. I will be that one channel that's going to continue to call things out when it doesn't seem right. And I'm going to continue to call things out when it should be fixed. I will always be here doing that for you, and I'm glad that you are a part of my my Team JD, man. Thank you guys so much, and thank you, William. Kevin Dunn, I don't know what I'm doing for 200, man. I really don't know. I might go live with it. You know, I know Jason Solomon Monster did his 500th episode live on YouTube. I might do the same thing, but it might be a little difficult for me to do that. I really don't know yet, man. I just might treat it as just a regular deal. Be honest with you, I have no idea yet. Maybe we'll do a segment with Kevin Dunn. Maybe I'm not really sure, but I gotta start thinking soon, man. This is episode 186. We're 14 episodes away from the big 200, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. So thank you so much, William, for sending your sub story, and I hope all is well with your father going forward, and I hope that his status gets better, bro. So thank you so much for being a part of Team JD. What do we got here, man? We got one from Gianni Mascaro. He's writing in on August 31st, 11:29 a.m. Hey, JD, I'm a huge fan and listen to you every day lately. My life has sucked, and things just don't seem to get better. Listen, bro, you're alive, you're breathing, can't suck that bad, man. Everything else, I'm sure you will fight through it. We've all been there. But the fact that you are alive and that you are able to open your eyes for a new day, that is all you really need, man. That's so your life really doesn't suck, man. As long as you are, here for another day, doesn't suck, bro. Be very, very gracious about that. 2 months ago, I lost my grandfather, and a couple of months before, I found out my grandma has cancer. I was literally devastated, and I haven't been handling it well. But that's not even it. A couple of days ago, I had to break up with my girlfriend. I thought she was the one and the love of my life. And I seriously thought me and her would start a family together and get married. But turns out she's been seeing another guy behind my back. And I caught her the other day holding hands with a guy in Tim Hortons parking lot. How is their coffee, by the way? I've always wanted to try Tim Hortons coffee. I never had. But I'm sorry to hear that, bro. Can't really feel all that good seeing your girlfriend. I don't know how long you've been with her, but can't really make you feel good at all seeing her holding hands with another guy behind your back. On top of that, my mother found a lump on her breast, and she's going for an ultrasound soon. We have no idea what it is. I'm just praying it's not cancer or anything worse. It's just a lump that she can't get rid of. I am not the same person I was a couple of months ago, and everything is killing me on the inside. I have nobody to turn to. I'm at the stage of depression now, and literally nothing makes me happy but your podcast. You're legit. The only thing that puts a smile on my face, and I just can't ask you... actually, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Your podcast is seriously the only thing that keeps me going. Honestly, JD, I just came to you to ask for some advice on how to handle everything that is going on. Thank you so much for everything, JD. You seriously have done a lot for me. Keep it up, and don't let anybody stop you from doing this, because you're going to make it one day, and you're going to be one of the biggest things in the wrestling podcast community. Thanks, JD, from Gianni. I don't really have any advice for how you can handle it, man. Everybody handles situations differently, you know. I would say, being that you got a bunch of stuff lumped into a very short amount of time, you know, do your best to make your mother comfortable, and be with her every step of the way. Be there for her, comfort her, make sure she's happy, make sure she's comfortable. You know, I'm sorry to hear about your grandma. You know, my grandma isn't doing very well at all. My Aunt Teresa seems to be getting worse and worse. She has full-blown dementia. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's really a big sore spot with my family right now, because we don't know what's going on. As far as your girlfriend goes, man, I don't know how long you've been together. Clearly, if she's holding hands with some other guy, she's not really right for you. You know, you might have had other priorities, you might have had other feelings, but clearly she didn't feel the same way. I would say just cut your losses and try and find somebody else. Talk to her, find out what she did. You know, there's got to be a reason why she went behind somebody's back to go hold another guy's hand in Tim Hortons parking lot. I don't know. I really don't understand that. But if she did that, then she clearly wasn't the one for you. Because if she loved you like you loved her, then she would be with you during this entire ordeal, and she would be comforting you, and she would be with your family. And that's not the type of person that she seems like to me. She seems like a piece of shit. So don't let that bother you, man. Just take it easy. You know, be with your family, be with your grandma, be with your mother, and just make sure that they are comfortable. That's the most important thing right now. So that's the best advice I could give you, man. And thank you so much for relying on me to make you laugh and get you through your difficult time. That means a lot to me, man. That means more to me than any donation or anything that you guys do for me. But I will continue to be here making you smile, man, and hopefully that becomes a little bit easier on you as the weeks go on. So Gianni, thank you so much, bro, and I hope things get better. Let me know, follow up with me, and keep me up to date on everything with your mom and your grandma, and I hope things get well, man. Thank you so much. We're gonna do one more here, man. We got one from Josh D. Josh D writes me on August 27th at 4:18 p.m. and he titled it Nakamura, and he doesn't like your new flavor of wood. That's the title. Hi JD, I'm a huge fan of the channel. I'm 16 and my name is Josh. My initials are also JD, and I also happen to be from New York. I live upstate near Albany. First episode of Off the Script I ever watched was episode 166, part number 2. I love the episode and have not missed a single episode since. My favorite part of the shows are your hysterical Kevin Dunn impersonations and the subscriber stories. Unlike most of the other subscriber stories, I don't have many terrible things that happened in my life, but I hope you still get to read it. Your off-the-script videos provide great insight on what is wrong with WWE and the people in charge. Although I have not agreed with absolutely everything you said on the show, I respect all of your opinions, and I say mostly agree with your opinions. My other interests besides WWE are music. I'm a metalhead like you, and I play drums. Also, I like video games. I plan on getting into the wrestling team at my school and becoming a pro wrestler someday. I know it's a very difficult business to get into, but I have interest for the business, so I think I might as well give it a shot. If you ever read this, I will mark the fuck out, and I would be very grateful to be in a subscriber story segment. Please never stop making awesome content, and hashtag fuck those other guys. Josh D, thank you so much, man. His email name is actually JD from NY518. So there you go. Another JD, a JD to a JD, bro. Good luck with the wrestling endeavor, man. I hope you succeed on the wrestling team. I hope you kick their asses and show them what you're really made of. Metalhead, man, you know. I am a proud metalhead. I love my power metal. I love my progressive metal. I love my Symphony X. I love my Alter Bridge. I love my death metal, my thrash metal, and everything in between. I also have a soft spot. You know, it's not all heavy all the time, but I am a well-known metalhead, and I love my metal. My brother plays drums, as you guys know. If you guys have been watching my channel for any extended period of time, you guys know my brother Frank, Mr. Legionary, plays drums and plays guitar and plays bass. A very sound music composer is he. Video games, you guys know I've been loving Destiny 2. I love Call of Duty when it works right. I love streaming for you guys. I love raging. I do want to get into other games as well and start streaming other games, but right now Destiny's taking up the majority of my time, so I don't know what to do, man. I feel like an addict. Somebody help me. But Josh, thank you so much for emailing me, bro. I greatly appreciate it, and thank you for your support as always. I don't want everybody to agree with everything that I say, and normally I don't really mind if people disagree with me. It's the part where people put me down and tell me that I'm a fucking idiot for what I said. It's that gets me pissed off, and that leads to a benching, or just people tweet me stupid shit. Like, oh, Jinder Mahal deserves to be WWE champion. What the fuck are you talking about? That's a bench. That's an instant bench. Instant bench in my books, bro. Or these Roman Reigns fangirls that don't know what the fuck's going on, you know? Roman Reigns is the greatest in-ring performer of all time. Well, I could list 50 off the top of my head that are better than Roman Reigns. Give me a break. That's an instant benching. I don't want anybody to agree with everything that I say. Then, you know, we wouldn't really have a show. It's the wrestling part of this podcast that that brings people together. Is because we have a lot of talking points, and there's a lot of various opinions. So what's so great about wrestling, man. You could take two wrestling fans that don't know each other, and they could talk for hours about wrestling because it's a passion. You're not going to agree on everything, right? I listen to Justin LaBar, I listen to Solomon, so I don't agree with everything that they say, but I take their opinion and I respect it because they got a great mind. So, Josh, thank you so much, man. You are a beast, 16 years old, man, and I hope that you find success on the wrestling team. Keep me up to date on that. Let me know how that goes as well, man. And that is Off the Script. That is Subscriber Stories. That is your Patreon shoutouts. That's your podcast for this weekend, man. Episode 186, part number 3. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully we'll have some more stories next week that are really solid, and we can have a great show as always, man, for episode 187. Thank you guys so much. I am JD. I'm going to go play some Destiny, and I will see you guys again for a new week. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, and everything in between, man. Thank you guys so much. I am JD. Have a great week, and I will see you right back here for more WWE content on Off the Script. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys for Monday Night Raw.